Hello, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. I'm back again with the weekly check-in readings for the signs of Cancer, Libra, and Taurus. I'm going to be starting with Cancer in this video, as you can see. And before I get started, I'm going to get all my disclaimers and things out of the way first. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you'll stick around and consider subscribing. If you are returning to the channel, thank you so much for rocking with me. Please continue to stay tuned. And yeah, as you listen along through the videos, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section, subscribe to all the things. The decks that I'm going to be using will be down in the description box, as well as how to get in touch with me if you'd like to book a personal reading. What else? Hopefully I can keep all the noise in the background to a minimum. If it gets too loud or anything like that, then I can start or restart or whatever. But yeah, I'll try to keep that to a minimum. What else? I feel like that's it. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. This is going to be for the week of the 3rd, November 3rd. Can't believe we're already in November. What is this on my cards? I hate when stuff gets on my cards. Anyway, sorry, little things like that bother me. Anyway, what was I gonna say? There we go. I don't know what that was. Probably some lint or something. But yeah, I can't believe we are in the month of November already. It's so crazy. Alright, so I'm starting with Cancer. And this, again, like I said, this is for the week of November 3rd. And I will see if any channeled messages come out for Cancer. So we're going to do that first, as I'm setting the cards out. And as you know, I typically go start of the week, midweek, end of the week, and I did switch it up a bit last week. Instead of reading row by row, I'm going to read them together, each row, or each row. Cancer is for you. A channel message. I keep hearing mile a minute. Usually whenever I hear that, that means that you all may be very much like in your head and your thoughts. Maybe some of you are overthinking something. But yeah, there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of contemplation about something. But mile a minute. Going fast. I also heard a car outside, so, and then also mile a minute. Some of you could be driving fast in a car. Could be something about like a race coming up or something, some kind of race car event. I'm also seeing those, like the big trucks that kind of go over the cars, monster cars or something like that. I forget what it's called, but yeah. So it could be like you going to one of those shows or some kind of race car event, something like that. I think is it Formula One or Formula something? I know it's like one of those race car things that's coming up pretty soon, I believe. Okay. Yeah, but as far as channel messages, that's what I'm hearing right off the bat here. I just feel like you all, Cancers, this week can be very contemplative, very much in their head about something. I don't necessarily get that is anything like, I don't want to say not pressing, but I don't get negative, if you know, I don't get anything like happening that's negative necessarily, but I think that you have quite a bit going on this week, and it's kind of making you kind of think a lot. All right. And I'm just turning the cards over just to kind of get a sense of what all is taking place this week for you all, Cancers. Okay. Okay. Cancers. All right. Okay, it looks like you are coming out in your reading with the Four of Cups here. But we're going to get to that. Okay, so the first card out is the Eight of Wands. Okay, so when I see the Eight of Wands, it means for me like things happening rapidly. Also like a lot of things coming at you, because if you look at the card here, it's like a bunch of wands coming at this person here, and it's almost like the wands are going over the person's body, like head and stuff, and it's almost like, you know, I just really think you have a lot, Cancers have a lot on their mind, and it could be like things kind of coming at you from all angles, from all sides, and you just kind of don't know what to do, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, oh my God, you know, where does it end? You know what I mean? But the eight represents like authority, ego, power. And again, this could be, you know, what Howard mentioning like ego. I feel like in this case, it's like your ego, you know, your like your inside, like the inside of your mind, basically. You know, dealing with that could be some like negative. Well, I don't really get negative self-talk, but it's more so like just you're not quite negative, but you're not really positive either. So it's kind of like in a limbo type situation. I think that's what I get more so, like feeling like in limbo. Feeling like, for me, I get the sense of like, kind of like disappointment in a way about something. Like maybe, you know, there's a kind of something that's kind of like causing you annoyance, and it could be directly related to this Eight of Wands. Feeling like there's so many things going on, and that you could be like, you don't really have enough time for yourself. That could be a thing. But yeah, and it could be like you get some news that makes you have to like drop what you're doing and go take care of something, because this, you know, this is all about like receiving news, things happening like super rapidly. You know, things having to kind of happen kind of swiftly, and it could be that maybe like, you know, this when we go into this next week, starting Monday tomorrow, You may have to hit the ground running at work. It could be like a pressing matter, and it's like something that you have to take care of right away, because you may have got, like, you just get in. I can see someone going into the office, right, sitting down, logging onto their computer, and the first email that they have is like having to put out a crisis or having to put out fires. You know what I mean? So that could be kind of causing some like an annoyance, if you will. So yeah. Okay, but it aligns with Oshun, Fearless Love. And of course the card is backwards, so you can't really tell what the words say, but Fearless Love is what it says. Alright. And with this card, I just really get that despite having all these like thoughts or things you have to take care of, still remember at the start of the week, you know, to give yourself time to rest. Find the what am I trying to say? Find the time to have little moments where you rest, where you take care of yourself, like, you know, making sure, especially if you're at work, you know, making sure you get up to go get a drink of water. Keeping water on deck, keep hydrated. Make sure, you know, you have your little snacks at work. You know what I'm saying? I take me a snack to work. You know, make sure I have my water, you know, get my water intake. You know, just like little things to kind of keep you going, because man, when you have to deal with a lot of things, put out a lot of fires, avoid crises, or however you want to say it, like when you have to deal with those types of things, it can really, really bring down your morale. Okay, I'm going to read from the book for these cards. I usually kind of just read them myself, but I do like to sometimes look and see what the book says. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'll necessarily agree with how the cards are interpreted in there, because I may see something different. Same with the original tarot. I may see something different. But I'm also don't mind consulting with the book and stuff like that. So we have Oshun. She's the goddess of fearless love. She is of Yoruba, Nigeria origin. And it says, Goddess Oshun is the exalted Orisha deity of honey, sweet waters, love, sensuality, fertility, and beauty. But the Yoruba Lady of Gold's anger and jealousy can also flood and destroy. So it says Oshun's guidance. It says, dare to love. Begin with loving yourself. Allow yourself to be loved. You feel everything deeply. You are porous with a wall around your heart. This is your paradox. And it says embodiment. You are love and you are worth loving. Funny enough, your affirmation talks about being worthy and good enough. So that's aligning with that. And this could be tied to the things that you're thinking about a lot. Like, it could be like you have to do all these things, but, you know, it's like, when do I get a break? When do, you know, am I always going to have to be the one to put these fires out, to do these things? You know, can anyone else not step in and help? You know what I'm saying? Do you always have to call me to fix something? Is what I'm getting. But anyway, let's see. You deserve to be loved in your language. You are worthy of a love that remembers your beauty at your ugliest moments. Don't allow your unhealed past to block your future. Real love is a sacred contract that says, I am vulnerable and committed. Your heart is safe with me. Let's expand our consciousness together. And then Goddess declaration, I give love, I receive love, I am love. Okay, so yeah, just all that tells me is very much about self-love, and in the way of, even when things, you know, even when things are tough, even when your back is kind of like up against the wall and you have so many things to do, always remember yourself. Always remember to take care of yourself. Don't let yourself fall by the wayside. You know what I mean? Try to give yourself time to, you know, do what you got. Let me put that, leave that right there, because I'm going to be going from that. But anyway, so the next card that we have is the Queen of Swords. And with the Queen of Swords, sorry, I'm trying to get this. Oh my goodness. Computer over here is acting silly. There we go. Whew. Goodness, y'all, up here yawning. And I think, you know what, matter of fact, I think last time, I don't know if it was for Taurus or Cancer, either one, but somebody needs to catch up on their rest. And I can't remember exactly who it was, but yeah, I'm also getting that as well for you Cancers. Yeah, I feel for some reason it's making me think that it was Cancers that I said that for, but I can't remember exactly. You may have to go back and watch and see. But anyway, yeah, we have the Queen of Swords. And with the Queen of Swords, this is all about like authority, standing up for yourself. But it also can represent, you know, because this is the swords is air sign. So this is, you know, could be communication as well, which with the Eight of Wands, it's all about rapid communication, rapid things happening. So whatever kind of communication that's coming in, it could be something where, you know, that kind of leaves a distasteful, like something, you know, like what is it called? It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like it's kind of annoying. So with the with the Queen of Swords being there, and then also with it aligning with Mamie Kumba Bang, speak up. You could be called to speak up about what it is that you're feeling. If you have too much, if things are being, let me back all the way up. If too many things are being put on your plate, you may need to speak up, which is the Queen of Swords. She doesn't mind speaking up. She doesn't mind, you know, kind of having a, like, almost stoic in a way. But with this energy, she's like never cold with what she has to say, but she's very direct. And she, you know, Queen of Swords, she will say it with a smile on her face, and you know, a kind smile on her face, but she's gonna tell you exactly how she feels. So that's the type of energy that maybe by midweek you'll be in, Cancers, and you're just kind of like, okay, I gotta speak up because it's too much going on. Like I need, you know, I'm doing all this, and it could even make you start feeling like, you know, you're not worthy enough. You're not, you know, people are not taking you into consideration, and that may make you feel a way, especially with the affirmation that you have out there. But anyway, nonetheless, this card is asking you to speak up and not be afraid to, you know, say when things are not going well for you, when, you know, there are things that you need to, you know, you need help. It's okay to ask for help, you know, kind of be able to delegate some other tasks, you know, to other people. So let's read what the book says here. That is 33. Okay, it says Mamie Kumba Bang. It says Goddess of Speaking Up. This is a goddess from Senegal. Temple Griots, element water. Okay, and you're coming out again in the card here, so that's cool. Let's see. It says Mamie Kumba Bang protects the mouth of the Senegal River. When making an offering to her, you must not speak to anyone else, coming or going. Sing for her, chant for her, call to her. Give Goddess Kumba your voice, and she'll be happy. It says Mamie Kumba Bang's guidance. It says speak up, speak out, speak on it. You have a right to be heard. And it says embodiment. You are betraying yourself by not speaking up. Your words have power. Own your voice. As the old saying goes, stand up for something or fall for anything. Being neutral is not an option. When you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions. What do you stand for? Tell someone today. And it says, Goddess declaration. I reclaim my voice, I speak out, and I speak up. All right, so yeah, with the Goddess of Swords, with the Queen of, that would be a badass title. Anyway, Queen of Swords. With this out here is asking you to, not be afraid to speak up, not be afraid to say what's on your mind, especially when it comes to delegating tasks. If you are like a supervisor or something like that, and so many things are on your plate, you may need to kind of delegate those tasks, so that things so something doesn't get not done rather. I can tell we're going into Mercury retrograde because my speech, okay. My words, I'm tripping over them. But yeah, even if your voice shakes, go ahead and speak up. Don't be afraid. Okay, and then next we have by the end of the week, we have the Four of Cups, and I don't know if you can really see, but on her hoodie there, it says over it, and she looks unamused. So, yeah. And you have the Four of Cups, and so like with the Four of Cups, it's all about like, it calls into question our stability, order, like it's very much, and also disappointment. And I think I mentioned that before, when we were talking about this, like I mentioned before, how whatever is going on here it could be kind of like the cause of some kind of disappointment for you all. And again, like if you look at the card here, it's like she looks completely just like she's like on her chart over it, like she is over it. These three cups are empty. This cup right here is like up in the clouds with a hand coming out holding it, but it's like you can't tell if it's full or not either. And so it's like you're pouring from empty cups. You're kind of like, what am I trying to say? It's like you are trying to pour into others, but none of that is coming back to you. And so that could be causing you issues. Okay. And so, yeah, like, I think if you're disappointed by your options, then, definitely look for different options, right? It's like you don't have to be, just kind of sitting there upset with what's before you. Turn it around, like look deeper, see what else is available, what else is out there, what else can you ask help with, who can you ask help with. Don't be closed mouths do not get fed, right? So it's kind of like you have to be willing to open your mouth and ask for help when you need it, or ask for other options. You know what I'm saying? If you need additional, say you have a team, and you need someone to cover a certain aspect of the job, then you may want to consider hiring more people. If you need like an assistant, sometimes you may need to hire an assistant. So I really feel like with this Four of Cups is very much about like discontent, apathy, kind of feeling like stagnant or bored with said options that are presented to you, and so there's a need to kind of see things from a different angle, in a way. Understand that just because it may look like this doesn't mean that it has to remain that way. Okay. And so then it aligns with Sekhmet, wounded healer. Okay. And so when I say like wounded healer, like in this context, yeah, it's just, I just see like disappointment and just being kind of upset with, you know, the options, and having to deal with so many things going on over here with the Eight of Wands, and just, you know, it's just kind of annoying you in a way. Okay, this is 15, so let's take a look at Sekhmet, and then we'll get your affirmation card, and we'll wrap up this reading for Cancers. All right, so we have Sekhmet, and it says Goddess of Wounded Healers. This is Egypt, and it says Temple of Warriors, element fire. And it says Sekhmet is a fierce ancient Egyptian goddess of war, the sun and healing. She carries life force in her palm, with the power to create or destroy. It says Sekhmet's guidance is heal thyself. Everyone gets your best except you. What did I say? What did I literally say earlier? You are pouring from empty cups. Like, you're pouring into everyone else, but you're not pouring into yourself. You're doing too much, basically. And you need some of that to come back to you, you know. And it says, you are a healer among your tribe. Stop putting your needs last. Embodiment. It says, when did you decide to become a martyr? Take a breath. Wounded healers hold sadness, rage, and fears of brokenness. Being a warrior wasn't a choice for our beloved foremothers. They did the best that they could. But being a goddess warrior for us is knowing that we have the choice not to fight all the time. Deep dive questions. What are your swords? And Queen of Swords is literally out there. The weapons you use to fight. And what are your shields? The ways you defend yourself. Dare to lay the burdens down along with your swords and shields. Goddess declaration. It is safe to put myself first. Okay. Again, I'm going to say that it's almost kind of like you got two affirmations in a way reading these, but it says it is safe to put myself first. Okay. All right. So, and with your affirmation here, you can't read it because it's backwards, but it says, I am good enough. I am worthy enough. Again, it says, I am good enough. I'm worthy enough. All right. So, Cancers, that was your reading. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If it resonated, like the video, share the video, leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know how it resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing. If not, you know what to do. Leave a cute emoji down there. Subscribe to the channel. Decks that I'm using will be down in the description box. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that will be also in the description box below. And with that being said, I will see you next week. Have a good night.